Well, first of all, if you're a man and you're clapping, you're not even a part of this, okay? All right. You don't even understand the rules of the day. It's women going out and getting saucy and then going back home. Yeah, you're not a part. I don't care if you're gay. You don't get a mensie every 28 days. All right. You can do a lot that we do, but I get offended by the idea that we go through something you will never go through. And stop wearing our skirts and our heels. Just saying, girls, what do we have for ourselves? Suzanne?
The menopause is coming soon for me.
Now, gay men, you'll never be the woman that we are, no matter how gay, sir. See? I'm not that gay. That's what he said. So, you know, I tell you every day, and I mean this, I'm going to keep drilling it in your mind. It is so scary coming out here and sitting here by myself with my loose mouth and my slick humor. And, you know, I'm by myself. I can't blame anybody but me. I mean, I can blame Norman?
Sure. I'll take some of the blame.
See, I wouldn't even do that.
Right.
You know, like I'm woman enough.
Yeah.
To, you know.
Yeah.
I got this. I say it and I mean it.
Hello guys, welcome to my channel. This is Nikki Free, and if you haven't already done so, don't forget to subscribe, share, comment, and hit that thumbs up button. Alright, so you guys just heard that clip from Wendy Williams, and basically I played it for you because I want it to be fresh on your mind before I give my commentary. I want you guys to really kind of know what's going on just in case you didn't see the show. Now, I personally watched the show, and during this particular part of the show, Wendy was talking about Valentine's Day, etc. And if I'm not mistaken, Wendy has always taken the stance that she's not a huge Valentine's Day person. Hopefully I'm not mistaken on that, but I'm pretty sure I recall her not being a big Valentine's Day person. However, she did mention that she did not have a Valentine this year, either on this episode or the episode the day before. I just remember her mentioning that she didn't have a Valentine this year, and that's okay. You know, she's okay with it. But her mood, just reading her body language and everything, she seems to start to get a little agitated as she proceeds to continue to talk about the Valentine's Day. And the Valentine's Day, I guess that's when girls go out and I guess love on their girlfriends, and then the next day is for them and their man, or if they have a man or if they have a woman, I guess it's their day with their woman. I'm not really sure on the Valentine's Day. I don't celebrate Valentine's Day, but that's kind of how Wendy was explaining it. It's a day to go out with your girlfriends and I guess kind of get wasted or what have you. Anyway, so Wendy was getting a little annoyed talking about it. You could just sense it. And then she said, clap if you're going out for this holiday, as you guys heard. And then the guy who started, one guy, I guess, or a few guys were clapping. And it seemed that she got a little bit more agitated. And then she said, if you're a guy, you shouldn't even be clapping, etc., etc. And then, as the story goes, she ends up having this dialogue back and forth with this gay guy that was in the audience. I shouldn't even say back and forth. It was mostly her coming at him, just saying, you know, you're a guy. You don't get a mensie every 28 days. You'll never be the woman that I am. Stop wearing our heels and our skirts or whatever. And it was just totally like left field. Like, where did this all come from? Well, if you guys really go back and watch the whole entire episode, Wendy was agitated during that little piece of the segment. The agitation just kept building up and building up. That is part of it. And I think it has a little bit to do with the fact that she is alone. for Valentine's Day. I think it kind of hit a little nerve. I think it just, people pretend like they don't care, blah, blah, blah. But sometimes the truth comes out in your attitude and your actions and your body language. And I think it was coming out a little bit. Also, I think Wendy is a little bit agitated. I think that's her truth. I think she is a little bit agitated with gay men dressing like women. For some reason, I think that may agitate her. That may be something that kind of irritates her. And all of this stuff coupled together just brought it out, and her truth just came out. I mean, she just didn't have any filter. Generally, she composes herself and she used a little bit more tact when it comes to certain areas, especially when you think about how hard she went yesterday for Dwyane Wade's son, and I hope I'm not Zaya or Yaya. It's Zaya. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. But anyway, Dwyane Wade's son, who now identifies as a girl and has changed her name to Zaya, I believe. Anyway, so because of that whole thing she did yesterday, where she went on this whole rant about, and she was crying, and she was just like, she's 12 and she knows where she is in life. If you have something to say, don't say anything at all. And she was being so sympathetic and just so like, she was just so invested and just so caring. And then today she comes back and it's like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. It's like a totally different person. Like, huh? Did you just forget about yesterday? So I believe that Wendy knows not to mess with that community, the LGBTQ community. I think that Wendy did the whole thing with Dwyane Wade's daughter to just put on. I'm not sure how sincere that was. Perhaps she was sincere. I don't know Wendy, but I'm just saying perhaps it wasn't as sincere as she let on to be, being that she feels the way that she felt the very next day. So anyway, so Wendy went on to go back and forth, like I said, with this guy, and everyone was in shock because she was crying and she was just so sympathetic about Dwyane Wade's son now wanting to be, go by the she pronoun and wants to be known as female as opposed to, as a boy. Wants to be, looked at as a girl, approached as a girl, addressed as a girl, and she was just all on that. Yes, just do that. And anyone that has anything to say, don't say it, like I said, and then to come back and say what she said to the gay man in the audience. Now, I want you guys I played this video for another reason. The gay man who was in the audience, he yelled out, "I'm not that gay." To me, what he meant was, I don't want to be a woman. So I think Wendy's a little bit confused. I just do. I think she's confusing perhaps the letters of the LGBTQ alphabet. I mean, maybe she's not really familiar with the community. I'm not sure. But when she said that, she definitely must not have realized that she was talking to transgender men. So basically, when she says, "You'll never be the woman that I am, stop wearing our dresses and heels, blah, blah, blah." Well, gay men, they want to be men, but they're just men who are attracted to men. But the transgender men, they want to be a woman because they feel like on the inside they are a woman. So they want their outside to match their inside. So they do dress up like women, and they 100% do want to be women, and they do consider themselves to be women. So I think Wendy was getting that mixed up, and that's why the guy says, "I'm not that gay," meaning I'm not that particular letter in the alphabet. No, I'm not transgender. I am a gay man who is a man. I want to be a man. And so what if I'm feminine? So what if I'm whatever? I'm still a man, and I want to be a man. I have no desire to be a woman. And I think that's basically what that guy meant in a nutshell. Anyway, anybody who knows anything about anything knows that in 2020, the LGBTQ plus community is a community that you do not want to come up against. Nobody is trying to fight that battle. I think people will rather come up against anybody than the LGBTQ plus community because you will most likely lose. And Wendy Wendy realized she had effed up. She claims that, oh, when I went back and I rewatched to critique and blah, blah, blah. That is BS, because on the same show, she said, after she said what she said about gay men, she said, I say what I mean, and I mean it, and I stand in it. I'm up here by myself, blah, blah, blah. So she knew what she said was something that was sensitive, but she was basically saying, you know, like, hey, I stand in it. Then she comes back the next day and says, well, I was critiquing it and I noticed and I just, I didn't mean to hurt anybody in the community and blah, blah, blah. Here's the thing. First of all, a large percentage of the people that support Wendy are gay men. Let's not get it twisted. Wendy Williams has a large gay following, okay? You isolate that following, you get that group of people mad at you, Wendy, there goes your coins, That can make or break her. If the gay community completely turned on her, oh, that would not be good for her. So that's what she was thinking about when you guys saw her, and I'll play the video here in just a second. I'm going to play the video of her apology here in just 1 second, but in the apology video, Wendy chokes up. She's choking up because she's thinking about all her money flying out of the window right with the LGBTQ plus community. So that's really what happened. And then anyway, so in this apology, she goes on to say, like watching it back, she noticed. And then all of this hoopla, which, listen, Wendy, honestly, I'm back to watching you daily for the most part. At first I was feeling kind of like, but I'm trying to, just root for you, Wendy. I think you are the OG, blah, blah, blah. But I honestly, Wendy, I don't think your apology was sincere. And I don't think you have a hatred for the gay community or the LGBTQ community, Q plus community. I really don't. And I think you probably have some people in your life that are in that community that you're very close to, that you probably have feelings for. But I don't think that the way you felt, I don't think you feel that strongly about them, that you didn't mean what you said about the heels and the dress and all of that. I think you meant that. That's what I'm trying to say. You meant that, Wendy. You meant what you said. It's irritating to you to see them. And you know what? Quite frankly, I don't think you could stand in it. I think a higher power, meaning someone high up, probably at Fox or somewhere in your circle, told you, look, you need to apologize immediately because we're about to really be in trouble if we lose that fan base. Wendy probably can't make it very far without her gay fan base. So they're like, you need to fix this and you need to fix it quickly. So Wendy got on and she apologized. And let me just go ahead and, on the other end, I want to be objective. Now, let's say she really was sincere and she did have a slip of the tongue. These kinds of things just can't happen though, Wendy. You're like a veteran in the game. And I don't want to I shouldn't even say it like that because anyone can make a mistake no matter how long you've been in the game. But what I'm saying is, looking at it from your point, thinking, oh, well, perhaps it was a mistake. I think if it was a mistake, okay, I'm trying to be objective, but it's hard because you came right back and said, you say what you mean and you stand in it. That's what you meant. You're up there by yourself. You're not going to try to put off on anyone else after you said that because you knew it was something that was sensitive. So I feel like if it was something that you actually mistakenly said, or if it was just a joke, there's another side. If it was only a joke, I feel like you would have just come back and said, I'm just joking. I'm just kidding. Don't come for me, gay community. You would have made light of it right then. That's just my opinion. I know everyone is different, but I feel like you would have kind of made light of it during that show as opposed to coming back. But listen, if you did make a mistake, if you did, just mistakenly say it and then mistakenly come back and say you stand in what you say and you mean what you say and you're standing by it, then let's just hope all your fans forgive you, in that community. Now, here's what I think. Moving forward, getting past this, on another side, I feel like this is what we've come to. And I feel like it's not a good thing. Okay? So now we have people who don't like these certain marginalized groups, who don't like these certain minority groups, and they, when it comes to money, will say anything to appease them. You see what I'm saying? They talk crap, they say whatever, but they'll come back and apologize because they don't want those problems. You know what I mean? But deep down inside, that's what they really mean. They really mean that they don't like you. They really mean that they don't like this group. But because they don't want to deal with the backlash and the cancel culture, now we have people that are disingenuous. We have people who are saying things that they don't mean. Basically, we're getting a lot of fake love and fake apologies, and I don't think anyone is really saying what they really mean. And that is why in one of my videos, if you watch my Lil Wayne video towards the end, I was talking about how I miss the days when people were real, when we didn't really have this cancel culture, and you did see people saying a lot of things that probably weren't as PC. However, we knew where those people stood. So it was just kind of like, okay, that person is a bigot, I'm not messing with them, blah, blah, blah. But now you got people up in your face apologizing and faking it, in your face. But behind your back, they are doing everything to tear down your community. They're doing everything they can to keep your community down, but you don't know it because everybody is so quick to cancel everybody and silence everybody. Till now, all we have is fake people. We don't know who the bad people are almost anymore because most of them are hiding and lying and apologizing and fake apologizing and pretending because of cancel culture. So again, I think people should be able to live their truth and say what they have to say, and then you be the judge on whether or not you want to support that person or be a part of whatever they're a part of. But I'm not sure how much is helping by people just being fake because they're afraid of the backlash, if that makes any sense. These people are just afraid of the backlash. They aren't genuine. Majority of people aren't being genuine. The majority of all these apologies, and I'm not even just talking about Wendy right now, I'm just talking about people as a whole, as a collective, since this whole cancel culture started. These people are still the same racist, homophobic, xenophobic, or what have you people in their hearts. However, they are thinking about their money. They don't want to lose that coin. So in order not to lose that money, they will say anything to keep you from canceling them. So is the cancel culture really benefiting anybody? I don't think so. I really don't. And not to mention the fact people are always like not really canceling the right people. But that's a whole other video. I'm not going to go into details on that. Let me just go ahead and wrap this video up because basically I've said what I had to say. Wendy only apologized because she had to. One, she was afraid of losing all those gay fans, which is a huge part of her fan base. And two, I'm pretty sure those execs at Fox were looking at her like, girl, are you crazy? Are you trying to get yourself canceled? You know what I mean? Like they're like, hello, we're trying to get the ratings up, not down. So you need to fix this now. Anyways, let me know what you guys think down in the comments about Wendy and everything that happened, this whole cancel culture. Put your thoughts below. If you guys noticed anything that I didn't notice, feel free to comment below. Aside from that, guys, I am going to play Wendy's apology now, and you guys can watch that. And I hope you guys have a wonderful weekend and Valentine's Day. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, comment, share, and like. Peace.
Hi. I'll start by saying I apologize. I did not mean to offend my LGBTQ plus community. On yesterday's show. I did not realize until I got home and I watched the second running of our show here in New York. And I always watch, when I can, to critique my delivery or, the cameras, the lights, the audience, the camera. Like, I'm very persnickety about how I do my show. And one thing that I can tell you right now is that I never do the show in a place of malice. I understand my platform with the community, from first grade to intermediate school to high school to college to radio and now to TV. And I didn't mean to hurt anybody's feelings. I'm just having a conversation. If you know me long enough, then you know. Bon vivant. I don't even know what that means, but it sounds fabulous. In my mind, it means live and let live. Bon vivant. And I live and let live every day. Life is too short. I'm 55 years old, and maybe I sounded like your auntie, your mother, your big sister, or somebody out of touch. I'm not out of touch, except for perhaps yesterday by saying what I said. So I deeply apologize, and I deeply appreciate the support that I get from the community. I will do better. I appreciate you supporting me. Thank you.